Hello, everybody. And I got a question to ask you. The question is, do you love shrimp? As you might be able to tell, or you'll soon see, I am completely shrimp obsessed and love shrimp. Let me tell you, I love shrimp so much that I've even turned them into my way of living. And I want to thank all you guys who watch my videos and people who buy my shrimp at my website, markshellyaquatics.com. Because of you guys, all of this is possible. I'm able to devote all my time into taking care and raising these shrimp and trying to make them the best that I possibly can. So without your guys' support, none of this would be possible. I've had a goal of trying to get all my tanks caught up because I have a really big project I'm working on outside. They're in the last part of the winter, and I've almost got everything there. You'll see there's a few tanks that are still I'm going to have to try to fit in, but I got most of what I wanted to accomplish accomplished, and my tanks are looking pretty good for the most part. So I'll take you guys on a tour and show you guys all my shrimp stuff that I have going on, and we'll even look at some guppy stuff. So let's get this tour started. So we'll start the tour here. I call this the shrimp room closet. Has a rack of 8 40-gallons, a rack of 5 20 longs, and another rack of 5 20 longs. So up here, we'll start up right here by the ceiling. This is a 40-gallon breeder, blue jelly tank. We have a little bit of algae problems going on in here, but for the most part, everything's looking pretty good. We've got lots of shrimp in here. And then over here right next to it, I usually work on these tanks around the same time because they are such a pain in the butt, so they're pretty much on the same schedule. This is my main orange tank. Looking real good. These guys have been breeding like crazy. Got so many orange shrimp. And this was something I worked on not too long ago. This used to be a coal tank with a whole bunch of reds, a lot of blue jellies, and even some old yellow jeans, but we recently reset that just a couple videos back. And now I'm trying to get some yellows going in here. Started with a few to test it out. Make sure everything's going to go good after resetting the tank. And then next to that, this is my main Blue Dreams tank. And a lot of you guys have been asking about guppies and plecos not being on the website. Well, we are still getting below freezing, and even with heat packs, I don't like to send out guppies and plecos in the cold. So I'm waiting until it's reliably above freezing or not getting much below freezing, and we're almost there. And I got too many plecos in here. These have been growing up all winter, and I need to get rid of some of them. So look for plecos here the next month or so. And this 40-gallon breeder has become one of my favorite tanks lately, mainly because I got this pogo stemon plant as a new plant to me, and I am really digging this plant a lot. But this tank is green jades. This is a tank I want to get accomplished on here. I just redid it a few months ago, but it's time to pick everything out. You gotta stay on top of these green jades. The Duckweed is always looking nice in here, and the pogo stemon, the moss is carpeting. This tank is peak right now. It's not completely overgrown. Still have a nice open area. I am really loving this tank right now. And this tank is a 40-gallon Bloody Marys and long fin green dragons that also throw lots of short fins. There is Mom. And Dad's in the cave. Maybe they got another batch brewing for me. This tank is on the to-do list. I need to reset this tank. Alright, and then down here on the floor is my Skittles tank. When I reset a lot of my projects, when I reset them, I scoop out all the shrimp I want, and a lot of them, everything else just comes in here. Coals come in here, all kinds of stuff comes in here. Lots of reds and blue jellies in here now from when I took down that 40-gallon that we just redid with yellows. That tank had lots of reds and blue jellies in it. And lots of rillies too, red rillies. It's one of my favorite tanks to just sit and watch. It's looking pretty nice too. It's not just tons of shrimp there. There's some of the, I did my first culling on some orange rillies last week. I scooped out Skittles packs today and I saw one ended up going out. Got all kinds of good looking shrimp in here. And my other tank on the floor here, I think is looking pretty sweet too. This is where when I redid my 75-gallon, used to be my 75-gallon Blue Dream tank, lots and lots of them went in here. And I've been selling, this tank has always been blue velvet, so these are blue velvets or mixed grade Blue Dreams. They're both, that both means the same in the way I sell them. But there are still some super perfect ones in here because when I reset some of my blue projects, I don't keep the little tiny babies. I just scoop all the little babies out and dump them all in here for my project tanks. And so you end up getting some completely beautiful, perfect shrimp. But most of them are middle. There's definitely some cool ones. And the mermaid weed farm is rocking. I've never had a patch of mermaid weed this big, look this good. It grows so slow, it's a pain in the butt to keep the algae out of it. But so far, so good. So that's the 8 40-gallon rack. So let's go look at these 20 longs. This is the tank where I'm trying to breed the best, make my reds the best I possibly can. So I call them fire reds. And most of these will be going outside, believe it or not. And the shrimp net thing has worked pretty good. I see babies in there and babies on the outside of the net. So I think the babies are getting born and most of them are getting out. So what I did is I put my very, very best male in there and like 5 of my best females that were not buried. And so they were just going to town in there, isolated. And then the babies can escape out the net. And everything else in here is going on. So I think it's worked out pretty good. I'm real happy with this. I can't wait to get these outside in a big pond and see how they do. And this is the same thing. Most of these shrimp will be going outside. Did the breeding net with these guys. So all these project tanks will be, every single shrimp will be gone through here in the next month or so. These guys are, I'm really, really happy how these guys are breeding out and looking. Really good. And then below that, you guys have been here forever. This is the line where I'm trying to make my own red realies. Well, I think I've already made them. I'm just trying to get them perfected. We're getting less and less fully red shrimp. We was getting over half full red shrimp. And now I think it's about 70-30 realies to reds. I'm hoping to have enough decent ones in here that I can get a bunch of these going outside too. You know, they're just a project. It's fun. And I like them a lot because I made them myself. The Bloody Mary project tank. Most of these guys will be going outside. We redid a lot of this tank not too long ago. And down here on the floor is what I'm trying to do what some people call Spider-Man shrimp. And we got algae just starting to grow. Let's see if I can find one here for you. But they started having babies. Really dark blue shrimp with red on them. Some have better red than others, but they're not really cooperating. But there's little babies in here now. Let's see. I haven't really been able to get a good look to see how the babies are looking because these are just shrimp I found. I found like 30 of them in my 75 gallon when I reset. Yeah, I'm zoomed in too much to get a very good picture of these guys. But you can see that the babies are kind of really looking. I'm not sure what that'll mean when they get bigger. Hopefully they have some red on them. But this is just another one of them fun projects. I have a couple tanks like that. Just playing around. And then the other rack of 5 20 longs. We have the green jade projects with the net. Most of these shrimp will be going outside. It's hard to get a shot with the glare. And down below here is another one of those for fun. I'm trying to make this tank was a blue-red relay, but I had some of those just popping up. Bloody Mary relays with blue carbon relays. And we got some that are pretty good. This has been a fun project, getting a lot of cool shrimp in here. Look at that one. This is a fun one. And then below that, we have an ugly backup blue jelly tank, and I'm going to be resetting this. And I'll be putting, most of these will be going outside. And the same thing goes with the snowballs. Most of these will be going outside. So, and then down here, super, super good orange shrimp. And these will be going outside too. The orange project. And right here is actually the first strike of tanks I've ever set up. 4 20s, a 75, and there's a 20 long on the floor. This is a blue jelly tank I reset just not that long ago. Snowballs. The snowballs really slowed down breeding this winter, so that's why they haven't been on the website. I gotta let these guys breed back out. And then this is another project, Blue Dream. It was a project, and then when I cleared out my 75, that was Blue Dreams. I picked out like 300 of the best ones. I could find. So it's those. And then this is another thing I'm trying to do. These are Bloody Mary Reallys. They just are starting to breed back out again. About to have to go through and do a cull, but my Bloody Mary started spitting out a couple Reallys. I put them in a tank just to see if anything would happen. And they started breeding out. And now, after, I'm not really sure how long it's been, probably over a year now, they're still throwing full Bloody Mary types, but mostly Reallys to some extent. I'm getting ready to reset these guys. I reset these guys like every generation. They're a project. And then the 75-gallon Reds. This thing is always struggling with algae anymore. It never used to. But the Reds are looking good. Lots of plecos. Lots of baby plecos. Lemon blue eyes. Some are short fin, some are long fin. There's long fin dad. Short fin mom. Short fin dad. They're just whatever goes in here. And down here on the floor is a project that I'm not going to go into too deep here with, but I can't say all my secrets. What are you doing? There's one of the guardians. And then we have the Bloody Mary pond, and it's pretty sad. The main light I had on it went out, so I just zip tied one of these strip lights on for now, but this thing is actually going to be coming down. I'm going to build a huge rack going from, this is going to be coming down, and that's going to be coming down, and there's just going to be a whole rack from the door to the wall. So that'll help me get more tanks in here and do some more project stuff I like to do. Look at those great big crypts. And speaking of great big crypts, this is my newest rack and my newest tanks. Let's go down here since we're talking about crypts. Look at all these crypts. We got a Florida Sunset crypt, a green Wendetti, and a bronze crypt. They're all Wendettis, just different color variants. And these are my rainbow lightning guppies. They're actually like 3/4 guppy, 1/4 Endler type of thing that I've created and have had a lot of fun with. And I haven't been selling them all winter. I finally got them sold down in the fall, and then when I quit shipping them because of the cold, now there's getting to be tons and tons and tons of them again. And I actually put some short fin green dragons in here. So when I pick out the short fins and long fins out of the green dragon tank, I put the short ones in here. These are really cool looking plecos. And then up here, last fall I got 4 new lines of Neos, my first new Neos in years and years. All my shrimp lines, besides these 4 tanks, are lines I've had forever and have bred out and shaped them the way I would like them to be with how I like them. Little Red Riding Hoods, these are very unique. And they have just a red head. The rest of them, it's like a really without the color on the tail. I think they're pretty cool. And then here we have the yellows. I really, really, really like these guys. It takes me a while. There's a bad one I need to get. But most of them have been really, really good. I haven't really culled these down much because they're all like the same. There's a few females that are spectacular, but On the whole, there's not really hardly any bad ones, but there's not any super awesome ones either, except for a few females. And we got some long fin green dragons in here. And then in this tank, we have black roses. And I knew when I got these, I was going to have my hands full. I let them breed out a whole lot. And then just had to pull like half the shrimp that were in here, either blues or chocolates. And so we're letting the next few rounds, the babies grow up. And we'll probably have to pull a lot more, but looks pretty good right now. And then we have the orange rillies. I'm super excited about these guys. And with these orange rillies and the new yellows, I think I'm just going to pick out all the adults and they're going to go outside so I can make a whole bunch of these new lines that I really, really like. I really, really like the little red riding hoods, but I don't think I'm going to need tons and tons of those. Those will probably be a shrimp nerd niche type of line. Maybe not. I know, I sure love them. I don't know if they'll sell like yellows. So I still got to do another tank of these. Up here will be at least a little red riding hood 20. So I got to do 4 more up there, but I've had so much stuff going on and trying to save money and yeah. So those are those tanks. This is a tank I've been wanting to get done for months. But the shrimp in here just are looking so good. This had algae all the way up to the top. Wow. I hate duckweed, but I'd let the duckweed completely take over and it beat out the algae. Well, recently I took out all the duckweed and it looks like we're getting. I think I want to redo this tank. I'm going to make this a mixed grade green jade tank. And I'll do some crypts and do some fun stuff in here. I really need to get this done. I probably need to make this a priority. And then we have the moss pond. If you got moss off me, this is where it comes from because I don't like pulling moss directly out of my tanks. And no matter how hard I try to not get shrimp in here, I always end up with shrimp. Oh man. And then we have crypts growing up out of the water. And the pilo moss is getting its way up in there. It's pretty cool. Now, I don't think these crypts are doing much because this is a filter. And I can't just put fertilizer in it because I don't want my moss pond getting messed up. So I don't think there's a whole lot of nutrients in here because I put a little bit of food in here, but not hardly any. So I just don't think there's hardly any nutrients in here for the going dead to grow real fast up out of the water. But you can see it's sending out runners everywhere. It's a cool little plant project. And then here's my only Caridina tank. I'm still figuring these guys out. To be honest, I got some really nice ones, and they're breeding out some. I just don't think I don't have hardly. I still don't. I'm not getting very good baby survival. I tried doing some kind of elaborate filter setup. I think I'm going to take this tank down, and this will be some kind of neo tank. I'm going to do a 20 for these guys, and just put in like 4 inches of active substrate and a sponge filter. Like, all right, that's good. I mean, they're not dying. I haven't seen any dead ones. And there are babies, just not that many. And this is the blue jelly pond, mass producing blue jellies. They're all down there at the bottom. There's a whole bunch of plecos in here and they keep it all kicked up and stirred up. I love how this moss grows like this. So you can tell we just missed it, but the moss was flowering. Most of them are done. There's a few that are still See that little yellow flower right there, kinda. And this was the tank I was talking about. That was a Blue Dream 75, and I redid it as a red, blue jelly, red really, and all my red really, blue jelly projects. All those are going to come in here because when these guys breed out, it's lots of fun. I put in tons and tons of jungle val. All the big jungle val melted off. Now, for me, a lot of people complain about having crypts melt when they try to do stuff. But whenever I mess around with jungle val, it's a miracle I don't kill it. So it looks like a lot of it died off. It melted off, but it's doing good. And then I put a couple pieces of pogo stem and it's already reached the top. That stuff does so good for me. I'm sure it's just another weed plant that I'll probably end up hating because it takes over everything I put it in, but sure is rewarding. I sure like that plant. Now we got the algae in here isn't nothing like it was, but we still have algae in the moss I work on. There's some algae growing up on the sponge filter, but it's really not too bad. Just reds and jellycols. This is my in-ground pond. The greenhouse cover survived all winter, surprisingly. And now I'm just waiting for the water temperatures to warm up enough to see if the shrimp are active. Seeing a shrimp lived all winter. Can a shrimp survive? Can a Caridina survive an Indiana winter? And then this is where my big project, when I said all this shrimp are going to go outside. We've got water lines and air line. There's the air pump. And there's going to be 100-gallon tubs all the way down from fence to fence. So I do believe that covers everything. So if you've made it all the way to here, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe because I will be doing lots and lots of stuff you want to see, all this stuff going on outside and the rest of my tanks, and I always am making videos about what I got going on. So again, thank you all for watching. Bye.